What's going on, guys? It is me, Lone, and I'm here talking about some Fallout 4 news that came out of E3. So this isn't part of the main press conference that took place. It's in fact an interview that Todd Howard undertook with GameSpot. And specifically, he was talking about some of the successes and failures of Fallout 4. If you want to look at the full article, the link is in the description below. But the thing that I took away from it is this particular quote here. He said that we do like to try new things and we have some successes. I think the shooting in Fallout 4 is really good. I think it plays really well. Obviously, the way we did some dialogue stuff, that didn't work as well, but I know the reasons we tried that, to make a nice interactive conversation, but it was less successful than some other things in the game. For us, we take that feedback, I think, long term. So essentially in this interview, Todd is pretty much admitting that what they tried to do with the dialogue stuff in Fallout 4 wasn't as successful. I don't want to say it was a failure because that's not what he said, but in terms of the major things that they experimented with or tried with Fallout 4, the dialogue was one of those things that people didn't like as much. I think unanimously people agree that the shooting in Fallout 4 is much more improved compared to past Fallout games, but certainly the dialogue was an area where things were lacking or could be improved. Now, in the past when I expressed my sentiments about the dialogue, I didn't have too many issues with it, to be honest. I'm actually one of those people that kind of liked the fact that our protagonist could speak because it definitely helped with the storytelling immensely. Of course, there are areas where things could be improved, but as I've also mentioned in the past, I think there was a lot of reasons why Todd Howard and the team experimented with Fallout 4 because it's essentially the game that they have a bit more free reign to experiment with, as opposed to Elder Scrolls, which is kind of their baby. I think if they tried a lot of the things they did with Fallout 4 with Elder Scrolls, they would have received more criticism and harsh criticism with that game, because specifically it is a BGS game, it's not a franchise that they purchased, unlike Fallout. So very much so, I think they experimented with a lot of different things in Fallout 4, whether it was the speaking protagonist, whether it was the dialogue wheel, things like that. And as Todd said, he's taking into account all of that feedback to be applied in the long term, which obviously would mean for the Elder Scrolls 6. But again, I'm not that person that necessarily hated the dialogue system. There could be improvements, there can always be improvements to a game. Games can't be perfect. I'll definitely admit that in terms of the dialogue wheel, if they had more options in each wheel, that might have been better, or at least it would have pleased more fans. I didn't really mind the fact that there were only 4 options in each dialogue conversation because it meant you didn't have to read all of these lines of text and then pick an option, and there could be up to 10 options. Sometimes that did take it a little bit longer, but I do understand why long-term fans of Fallout actually appreciate that. So I could easily fall both sides on the argument here. I'm really easy to please. I really liked the dialogue in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout New Vegas. So long as they're always trying to innovate and change and push the barriers, that will make me happy as a fan. If they try something new and it doesn't work out like they intended it, or it wasn't as successful as we would have liked it to have been, then I'm still okay with that. So long as they tried and so long as they are trying to innovate as much as possible. We have seen games that don't try to push the barriers in that sense, and then people get sick and tired of the same formula and want something new and something different. So there's always a balance that must be drawn. We can't just say leave everything the way it is, because there will always be those people that say, well, you're not doing enough to push the bounds and innovate. So hopefully Todd and the team takes all of this feedback for the Elder Scrolls 6. I think that they will try and incorporate as much of the criticism as possible, and we'll get an amazing game with Elder Scrolls 6. But I would love to see what you guys have to say about this topic. Please let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this has been Lone. Please take care of yourself, and as always, keep fighting the good fight.